there was another meeting to that discussion. Jody and then right behind you. Okay. My question is, what can we do as businesses to attract your generation? Because all four of you kind of did pick the electrical industry and fell into it. So what can we do to attract your generation?
For me personally, and I think that each of our situations are going to be so different, one of the things that I really appreciated and made me want to work for my company was that I am a mom, and they are really understanding about the fact that I am a mom, and sometimes my daughter is going to get sick, and I have to take her to the doctor, and I have to do things. My immediate supervisor, who is also the VP of the region, was a single father at one time, so he was really understanding about it, and he told me from the beginning that, you know, he would allow me to do what I needed to do, and it's as long as my job's getting done and there's no issues with that, you know, then I'm able to take time as I need it. The other thing too is that I think having really good benefit structures are amazing too, and feeling like you really are a part of the organization and not just, you know, another cog just doing the daily job. Like what you say matters, what you do matters, and you know, like our CEO is in the room right now, and I have many opportunities to speak with her anytime she's in the city. And the company that I worked for before, you didn't want to get stuck on an elevator with the CEO. He was not a friendly guy. So, you know, if you got stuck on there, you try to put your head down and not talk, because he generally wasn't very nice. It's a very well-known company. I won't say who it is, but you know, I appreciate the fact that, you know, they appreciate me, I appreciate them, and I can just pretty much go talk to anybody, and I feel like I'm needed and valued there.
For me, it's, I was kind of telling Diane this on the phone. I follow a very simple formula for a career. I think the average career, just to make it easy, is about 30 years. The first 10 years for me are development. The second set of 10 years is implementing that development, putting it into action. And the last set would be philanthropic, giving back to people in the first 10. So for me, when I'm looking for where to work and why I was so interested once I actually came and interviewed, was the opportunity for development. I mean, it was unlimited because I had access to all the top leaders in the company. I was going to be doing something different every day. That's incredibly important to me. If I was, you know, here, quote this, or like inside sales, something like that, where it's very repetitive, got to do the same thing over and over again, and then eventually prove yourself to take more responsibility, I wouldn't last. I'd say a year tops would be the most I could do that, and I'd have to have no other options. So yeah, it's basically all decisions are made based on the maximum development. So I'm going to stay and go where I think I'm going to get the maximum development.
I think that promotion from within is very important, and letting all new employees know that there really isn't a glass ceiling of any kind, and that, you know, they could do whatever they want in the company and expand and grow and really have a good career. I mean, for me, when I started, I couldn't believe I was selling light bulbs. I mean, I had no idea that this was even a thing. But because of my former employer and his willingness to promote from within and to give me that opportunity and to challenge me, it just really developed into something that I never expected. And to expand on Nicole's comments about working for people that you like and someone respecting you and taking the time to really get to know you a little bit more. You know, my former company was the same way, and when I switched over here to Halco, it was a game changer for me, because the owner of our company is involved on a day-to-day basis. He's such a good person, and he really takes time to get to know his employees. He challenges us. He respects our thoughts and takes our opinions very seriously. So I think just creating that climate within your industry or within your company is very important.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I liked that drew me towards Encore was, one, having access to the leaders of the company, but also my role wasn't really defined. They kind of let me define it, more or less. So when I joined, I was moving, I was in sales, but I was on the inside for a little bit. I went out to the plants. I spent like a week or so with each of the plant managers, got familiar with some of the operations and our products and just kind of how it all works. I spent some time in credit, spent some time with our quality control department. So really just kind of for the first 6 months, just kind of got, didn't really understand the business. I'm still learning, but just got familiar with kind of how our business works. And if I did have a question or a problem, I knew who to go to. So I think for me and how I work and what drives me is the ability to take on a lot of responsibility, wear a lot of hats, do a lot of different things, we come in every day, and it's not like, hey, you have to do this today. I mean, the way that we're so lean, and you don't really know what to expect when you come in that day. So to me, that it's very exciting.
Set aside your specific roles for a moment, and this is directed at Gen Y and general and millennials. And Dustin probably works in an environment that's more similar to the one I work in. We're very lean, we're very flat, more lean than we want to be. We're starting to hire some people back, which people respect. There's a good chance there'll be some from your generation. We have some in the work roles now. What I struggle with as a boomer is providing flexible work schedules that then don't align with the core work hours. And you being in a sales role, you could probably relate to this. There's the busy core hours, and it's usually a 10-hour span if you're working coast to coast. And it's the unavailability sometimes of the expectation relative to the work schedule. Now, the three of you, I don't believe, are in customer-facing roles. So you're in support roles. You are?
Yes.
So you could probably relate to this as well. I don't know the answer. I don't even know the question I'm asking, other than how do we all cope with, as much as I think we all need your generation. There's no question about that. But at the beginning of your presentation, you said it's the communication. Is there an attitude, so to speak, that I'm not going to be like them, but can we all kind of meet in the middle? I guess is what I'm trying to say here. I'm sure there's other people in the room that have dealt with this, because we try to be flexible, but then it sometimes feels like it's being
I don't see any reason why we can't meet in the middle. I don't think that a flexible work schedule or work week means that you come and go as you please and you're never available. I think that is taking it to the extreme. I think being flexible in the sense that I'm looking at it is, for me, giving me a couple hours here and there if I need it for something to do with my family. And I think as long as there's clear communication from the beginning, even from the interview process, that we can allow you to do these things, but this is what I'm going to expect from you in return. And if I agree to give you Thursday off, I need your work to be turned into me by Wednesday. And if it's not done, then you have to go, you have to take further steps, but that means your employee's not upholding their end of the deal. I think that by giving your employees the ability to kind of take some time as needed, they're going to appreciate you more, and I would be willing to turn the work in a day earlier than they asked, just because I want to show them that they can trust me to do those kind of things.
I think I think in general the answer to that question is it needs to be earned. That you have to go through some sort of process and say, I can be as flexible as you want to be, but we're not just going to start there. Because when I started the job, I clocked in and out. I was an hourly employee, so if I wasn't there, I wasn't getting paid. But as challenges were presented to me and responsibilities grew, so then does the flexibility. So I think they sort of go hand in hand. So
you earn the privilege.
Exactly, and I think in general, the employee that will not abuse it will be the ones that are more than willing to earn it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were discussing earlier about how this generation is looked at poorly in a way where we feel we're obligated, or that we should have these types of benefits just handed to us. And I really don't like to be pigeonholed in that group, because I completely disagree with anything that has to do with that. I think that when an employer offers flexible schedules, I think that's amazing. My situation's a little different. I live in Kansas City. My corporate location is in Atlanta, Georgia, and then my sales team, they're all in the West. So I'm going from 4 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning. It's constant, 16-hour days on average. So for me, I don't come from a structured schedule type of environment. I'm more than willing to give more time than I should, and as long as my boss understands that and appreciates it, I'm good with that. I just think that when we just expect to have a schedule like that or to have flexibility, I think that's where we're kind of going down the wrong path. I think that you'd also be surprised at just how much this generation is willing to sacrifice for their career and how much time they're willing to dedicate to it. So just like with the comment that we were talking about, how we work hard, we play hard, and sometimes at the expense of sleep. So, I mean, it's if you find the right person, I think that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best bet.
Yeah.
The role that I took on, and part of my group is 2 more guys, and we took on the sales development role. And really, over the past year, my travel has picked up probably 50 to 60% of the time. And I'm married with a 1-year-old, and which makes it difficult at times. But typically, our company is very family oriented, so we try to keep our trips to like 2 days. Get in, get out, get a lot done. So. It's flexible, yeah, but we, like she said, 10-hour workday would be nice. It's 12, 14, 15 hours a day, weekends, and then, sometimes, we have customers that come in a lot throughout the week, so we take those guys to dinner, and, I live an hour from home, an hour from work, so it's, makes it difficult at times. But I think if you just find the right person, the right fit for your company, they won't abuse it. And if they're not holding up, if they're not getting the work done, they'll be exposed. We have our group, we have a lot of projects that we're working on, and we're constantly evaluating, our progress and setting goals and whatnot. So if you're not, if one of us was not, getting the work done, you'd be exposed. So I think it's just more about finding the right fit, the right person for your company, and the role that you want them to take on. So.
Question and a comment. Seems like the reason that you all are in the position that you're in is your companies have empowered you to make decisions and makes it more exciting for you. Second thing is, how many of you got BlackBerry, iPad, or Androids that you're using 24/7?
Yes to all three.
It's bugging me that I can't look at it right now.
It's true. It's like an addiction.
You have to hide it, otherwise you look at it all the time in the middle of meetings and stuff. So.
Well, it's called crackberry.
There's a lot of discussion about reverse mentoring. Do you have any experience with that?
No.
Yeah, I think I have. It was actually when we first started launching into the renewables. What's fortunate for me is, the electrical industry is a very old industry in general. Obviously, we've had electricity for a long time, but we haven't been active in renewables a long time. So the fact that I got in at a very early stage in renewables in the U.S. Meant that I'm somewhat of a veteran, even though I'm under 30. So because of that, I got a lot of chances to mentor the leaders of our company and how to engage into this newer industry. And asking my opinion, like how do you see this market going? Who are the people that it appeals to? Because it appeals to me, so I get to mentor just my opinions. I don't know if that's so much mentorship or just giving my opinion, but.
Tammy, I'm not familiar with reverse mentoring. Is that just basically just us helping someone who would be new or younger than?
It's kind of this, right?
It's going the other direction. I know that reverse mentoring relates to use of technology, social media.
Sometimes that's tough, because when you're the youngest person in the group, sometimes the older generation might be a little resistant to taking feedback or advice. I think, of course, that takes care of itself once you've worked with someone for a long time and they understand what you bring to the table and they have that element of respect for you. But initially it can be a challenge. I mean, I remember when I first started managing my own territory, I was 21 and I was managing, men in their 50s and 60s, and they thought, well, what have they gotten me into now? I mean, that's what they thought when they saw me going down the road. But now I think it would be a different scenario. And yeah, I do try to help any of my coworkers that might be looking for answers or suggestions. Definitely, I think it's a great idea.
Any advice on how we could help facilitate that more?
I think it would just be something where if it's not really looked at as someone's going to teach you something, as much as let's just maybe an open forum where you would share ideas and best practices, that type of thing.
I just got a I look around and I see that some of my customers are in this room. How do you guys overall feel about people, our age having, decision-making positions? I mean, does that make you feel, are you comfortable with people that are under 26 and I'm 25 years old? So how do you guys feel about that?
As long as you make the right one.
Yeah.
The best decision for you.
Yeah.
It's up.